go. There we go. Where we go. I've got my beautiful bride with me, who has
Hello.
honored me with my ribs. Like Lena came. Lena, I was sore for so long because I'm like, I got a rib missing, and then all of a sudden you showed up
I did. Out of the blue.
out of the blue. Something just got pulled out of my rib. Thank you, brother Robert, for that Malakuta business. Thank you for that super. He's always supporting the channel. We're back here for the third and final session for today. We're going in
Welcome
strong.
back.
Hey, Lena, you see this title?
Wow. How to tap into the abundance of Yahuah.
I don't know if Lena knew I was going to teach this. I haven't taught this like this deep in a long time.
You mentioned something when we left, and I knew that was about that. I think that's something that not only those listening right now live needs to hear, but everyone that just coming to this recording is so important to understand because they definitely not only have changed our thoughts and have manipulated us in spiritual things, but also in life, way of living, way of thinking, and all that is showing now on our lives and in our regular daily basis things. So I think that's a topic that everybody needs to hear. Is very important. Abundance.
And I mean, people they get it all twisted and they get pressed down. They don't understand all is available. Shout out to our sister Stacy Neal. She says Yahoo. She says Yahuah, of course. Northern Ireland in the house to my new beautiful
Woo!
family. Everybody drop some shout outs to our new beautiful sister there in Northern Ireland. William, is that you working?
Hey.
Is that William working up there in Northern Ireland? Is that who is that? Who's doing that? We got a lot of is that Pamela working up there in Northern Ireland? What's going on? Got a lot of good stuff starting to happen.
Yee.
Ireland. How you say that in Spanish? Irlanda?
Irlanda del Norte.
Irlanda del Norte. Hey, listen. We going in. We got to do some shout out. Hey, brother Daniel just gave away
Thank you,
20
Daniel.
memberships here on our YouTube. This supports our YouTube channel. It's something small because we pour a lot of money into everything that we're doing in building the kingdom. We're
Yes.
actually doing kingdom business. So we're not just here talking and holding hands and not having anything change or anything move. It's going in.
Mm-mm.
We're
No,
going in.
it's actually things are real, so real that you can touch it. You can
Touch it.
touch it.
Man, I tell you what. Shout out. Who we got some shout outs to, Lynn? Who's up in here today?
Okay, we got Jamie Galloway, we got Robert Gaming, we have Gerald Underwood, we have Dwayne Gordon, William Pollack, we have Robert Stevens, we have Bianca Randolph, Quinn Nelson, Ashley Spence, we have Ollie Robinson, Yamani, Yerma Yahoo 18, Benjamin Thomas. Benjamin, you put me hard on that one to pronounce.
Yeah, he got the real name on it. Ben
You
Amin.
got the real name.
Ben
I,
Amin.
I love you, brother. We have our sister Eartha Robertson. Well, this is going our brother Daniel Bacote. Obviously, we have our sister Ebony and Joe Garden. We have brother Perez. I'm gonna call you Perez, only Mr. Perez. Deontay Warren, Sister Donna. We have Norman Even. Welcome everyone. If I'm not calling you your name, this is a long list here, and I keep just putting down
Oh,
our sister Donna Dilsneer. I love you too, sister. We have Denise Thompson. We have our beautiful Hannah Tello. We love you and miss you. We have here Stacy Neal. This is our beautiful sister from North Ireland.
yeah,
We
she's
have
coming in brand new.
our sister Lisa Bethel. We have who else
Lisa been
here?
faithful. Lisa
Norman.
been faithful.
Yes, you are. She is. We're
Man.
very, very proud of you, sis. Thank you so much. Our brother
See, Lisa, hey, Lisa
Bill
Bethel's one of
Henry.
those examples, Lena. She's one of those examples of just continually contributing, just sowing
Yes,
seed. Yahuwah gives seed to the sower. She just
yes.
sowing. Next thing you know, she's just approaching some of the higher levels in the membership because she's being faithful.
Faithful, yeah. Yeah, welcome to our brother Bill Henry. Brother Bill, you was on fire this morning.
Hey, we getting all kind
We
of feedback
love
about
to
Brother Bill
have you
leaving.
here.
People
Yes.
going crazy about it. I went in there, my dad almost grabbed. He says, Brother Bill was bringing it. What was that he said, Lynn? He was going nuts in there.
He was so excited. He's like, he actually even texted me. Like we was here in live and and my father-in-law is texting me like, this guy's on fire. This brother is on
On
fire.
fire.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. If I didn't mention Mark, our brother Mark Ringhaber, thank you for everything. Our brother Daniel Hamilton, Sweet Pea, welcome. Our sister Heather Book, Yahuah daughter. I know we have our brother Randy Moon. We have our sister Cherry, our sister Amber. Welcome, our brother Kadim. Nancy Cuadrado. Nancy, I'm pretty sure you speak some Spanish, so I can't wait to create this
Yeah, we got
group
a
and
whole
get this.
Spanish platform coming out, don't we, baby? A whole platform.
Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna bring all the Spanish together. We're all gonna get together and be able to to witness to all
Fellowship.
the Latin community and all the speaking community.
Yeah.
So I'm really really happy that that happened. Welcome, brother Mike. We have our brother Norman Irvin. I hear
Carolyn
you coming
Sanders
to
is in here.
Colombia.
Liz Steele's in here. Robert Stephen going crazy. Hey, listen, so we got some questions already, Lena. People asking about the calendar. I put in the chat 2 times the real calendar. Today is not the Sabbath. You missed it. It was yesterday.
Yep, and it's
We don't
not Day
follow
of
the.
Atonement either.
Yeah, it's not the Day of Atonement coming up. They done fooled you. Those who call themselves Yahudim but are not, you fell for the okie doke. Hey, it's okay. You didn't know better. Now we're going to teach you
Yes,
better. You're going to get
yes.
out
I'm
from
actually
underneath following those who call themselves followers of Yahuwah, but they're not. You're following listen, when you follow those other calendars, you're following the ways of the Pharisees. That's just a
yes,
fact. And the Pharisees hated Yahushua when he was on earth. Hated him. They hate him right now. He is Yahuwah. They want nothing to do with it. So you got to understand that you got to learn the right way because a lot of people will come in and then they've been used to doing one thing. And when you come to promote the truth, you ain't gonna get nothing but the truth. And we're going to teach
yes.
you the ways of Yahuwah. We're going to teach you how to tell time, you
Yes,
know?
I'm actually
So,
posting right now the link where you all can find the true calendar of Yahuwah. So it's very important that you have that with you. For those asking that when is the calendar of the next pagan year coming up, that's gonna be there very soon. Okay, so just try to be a little bit patient. You know that the team was very, very busy with the production, the printing, the editing, and all these things. But it's very important that you know that we haven't. We have the dates already. We just need to put it in a very nice design for every one of you to have it while the app is being built. Okay, so
yep,
this is something very important because this is the fourth commandment. If you don't have the calendar straight, you're violating the fourth commandment. If you're
right,
violating the fourth commandment, you're violating them all. That
right.
means you are not in agreement with Yahuwah and you are not going to be saved. So it's very important that you understand that calendar, go to that link, study it, and just look up. You're going to be able to follow it and have the right command, the right calendar is going to be in your hands.
I love Lena said, just look up. See, the whole key is them 2 lights in the sky. It'll tell you everything you need to know about how to tell time. But make sure you click on those links and you learn. Never, ever fall for the tricks of the devil. Never.
Yes.
The Sabbath day is never at night, ever. So anybody tells you that a day starts at night, that just tells you that goes against your logic right there. You go, what?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
No,
that's crazy.
it's a Shabbat day, and our Father Yahuwah, our Creator, the only one, said that He create the sun for the day and the moon to rule the dark. So if it's a Shabbat day, then you observe it during the day. So that's the correct observation of the Shabbat.
Yeah.
Please read that link. You're going to
Hey, and
understand that
plus,
it's
Lena,
really clear.
plus, you can go type in calendar in our YouTube channel. I've done probably 5 or 6 trainings where I'll walk you right through how to follow the right calendar. What is a day? What is night? You're going to be like, all right, I get it. And you're going to be on track. So we understand several people, they're still coming out of Babylon. You know, a lot of times people come out of Sunday and they go right into Saturn's day. And they start worshiping
Yes.
Saturn. You don't even realize it. So we're going to show
Yes.
you how to worship Yahuah and Yahuah only. This is a
Yes.
great
Correct.
this is a great training coming up. Honey, I don't know if you're going to stay in here, you want to hang in, you want to go handle business, because I got many scriptures to go through. What do you want to do? You want to hang in here? You want to?
Whatever you want me to do, I stay
Up to
here.
you.
I want to say one last thing to our sister Bianca. I think she's new in our community. Welcome to the community. The observance of the Shabbat. If you go to this website that we just post there, and if you don't see it, you can go to our promotethetruth.com and you can go to appointed times. And inside of that link, you see Yahuwah's calendar. And right there in the bottom, you're gonna be able to download a regular calendar with the pagan names where it's going to guide you where is the exact day from now on. Every month is going to change because you're changing with the phases of the moon and also with the sun at the same time. So make sure you check that out. It is not sundown to sundown, is starting in the morning when the sun comes out. That you said in English, you said the sun. How you call it when the dusk?
You got
The
dawn to
dawn.
dusk.
So the dawn. So you do dawn to dusk. That's how you do your Shabbat. Okay, Sister Bianca. We love you and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for being here, sis. We're in learning and growing with everybody here. We started out, say November the 9th, we started ramping up lives. I did a few right before then, but we didn't get serious until like November the 9th, 2023. So you're less than a year. We've been doing these lives. We started out, we had like 13,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. It's now approaching 160,000. Y'all heard what I just said? You're talking about 150,000 subscribers in less than 11 months. Less than 11 months, 150,000
Yes.
subscribers since we started going live and teaching people and having having people working with us in the chat, supporting our campaign. Go over to tsinfo.org and you can participate in the campaign. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. The title here is How to Tap into the Abundance of Yahuah. Many people, most people, they never even sniff the abundance of Yahuah. Yahuah is the air that we breathe. He's the air. He's everywhere. He penetrates and he fills the inner spaces of the universe. And he's unlimited. Yahuah right now is fully wealthy. There's nothing that is not his. He owns everything. And so once you call on Yahuah and then you get immersed, that's the second part. You repent and you call on him. It's on. It's on. Hold on, Bianca. We're going to teach you. Sis, go over to that thing. Yes, false. And the Bible's false. That's why we're here. We have what's called the true scriptures. So the true scriptures teaches you the truth, not that pagan Greek-based Bible. You got to get out of that. So we got to focus on what we got going on here. And y'all can go. We got already done those lessons. It's not about the calendar today. We just want to kind of give you a little tap. If you want to stay and you want to learn, stay. If not, then we appreciate y'all stopping by. Here's the key here. People they born, they die. They never understand that Yahuwah is unlimited. Yahuwah is the air that we breathe. When you call on him and you immerse into his name, then all of a sudden he comes in you, and now you've got full abundance living in you. Now it's crazy that if you had all that living in you and you never tapped into it and accessed it, wouldn't that be crazy? You were never able to grab access to what's living in you. Like your brother Joe, you never was able to tap into that. And that's why so many people are sick and so many people are impoverished because they never, ever tap into it. Ever. Man, it's on. On. And so the true scriptures is the only translation we found out of all the translations in the world that does not have any distortions that gets you out of the beast system. It's the only one we found. And we translated so we know. And we got over 30 years of experience. And we've been following Yahuah for 17 years. Hardly anybody you're going to meet can say they've been following Yahuah on earth for 17 years, Lena. Hardly anybody. So I'm going to teach you about how to tap into the abundance. Now, these principles have never went away. What happened is you got a Greek Brit Hadash New Testament, and that Greek New Testament, it literally took you to be feeling guilty and being broke when Yahuah is everything. Isn't that crazy? You had it in you, available to you the whole time. I had it in me, but now we got to work with what Yahuah gave us as the truth. He's never changed. He only came to fulfill sacrificial issues. He came here to fulfill what was written by the prophets to give us a path back to salvation, not to teach us to ignore everything that he already said. He never said, let's wipe out everything I've taught you. Don't even think about it no more. And let's just deal with this new stuff. And in the new stuff, they keep referring to the old stuff. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it's incredible. Actually, yesterday we saw it reading something, and I believe it was Matate Yahuah, where it was saying, it was talking about that we have to keeping the Shabbats and everything, and it's talking it in the in the New Testament, in the Beri Hadash. So I'm like, what are you talking about now? That the commandments was wiped out, that the Old Testament is wiped out. You don't have to keep with the laws, but then you keep seeing the laws being mentioned in the Beri Hadash. Like if the Beri Hadash was not in the first place a teaching of the Tanakh.
How you feel about that, Lena? Like, how does that make you personally feel once you recognize that they're quoting the Tanakh over and over in the Brit Hadash? So how could you get rid of it?
It's just nonsense, because we all know, and the story, even if you don't believe in nothing, the story says that the Bari Hadash are letters where the disciples was sending between each other or sending to others to teach what happened with the Savior when he was on earth. And then they're gonna say, oh no, that's a different book. But the teachings was from the book they was reading. And the book they was reading and teaching from was the Tanakh, the Old Testament. So it just don't make sense. It's like they told us things so nonsense, like if we're some dumbass people, and we all believe it. That's the crazy part. We all believe
You've
it.
been
We
going
never
along with
question
it.
it until a lot of us wake up and said, this is wrong. Like, you're just trying to shoot lies onto my brain, and I just caught them. So it's like, this is the awakening of the world. We have to awake the world and say, stop letting these people keep telling you lies and peeing in your ears.
All right, Lena, check this out. When I start this out, everybody put their seatbelts on. Y'all know I'm going to bring the heat on this topic. In the Brit Hadash, a minimum 850 times the Tanakh is referenced. Minimum. Did you catch that, Lena? In the Brit Hadash New Testament, it references and mentions the Tanakh, the Old Testament, at least 850 times.
That's crazy.
Has anybody ever told y'all that? Have you ever heard that before? Put it in the chat. Have you ever heard before that I'm going to speak like people are used to hearing. Have you ever heard before that the Old Testament is referenced 850 times minimum in the New Testament? Have
That's
y'all heard
incredible.
That?
Wow.
But what does that make y'all think? When y'all hear that, I'm telling you a fact, go study it. I've been studying this for 30 years. Hardcore with Yahuah for 17. 850 times minimum, the Old Testament Tanakh is referenced in the New Testament Brit Hadash. 850 times. So if somebody comes to you and tells you that the Old Testament is done away with, that means the New Testament is done away with. because it's using it as a reference and a credibility point at least 850 times. What you gonna do with
Right.
that? Y'all know I'm gonna ask y'all that one, right, Lynn?
Yeah, that one is like a slap in the face.
Oh, the Old Testament's done away with, the Tanakh's done away with. We don't have to go by that no more. Well, it's referent now. When I say reference, it's used as a point of credibility to establish its credibility. So the New Testament, the Brit Hadash, is using references to give credibility to itself. It's saying, listen to me because I'm referencing the Tanakh, which includes the Torah. Now, does that bring a whole new light on the subject when I just say that, Lena? Does that bring a whole new
Yes.
spotlight on it?
Yes, it does. I think it's a good point, and I see on the messages that everybody agree on that because you cannot have this letter talking about this book, and then you say no, that letter is not talking about that book. That book it don't exist anymore. You cannot deal with that book. But my letter is a resume, or it have a lot of content of what that book just told me. So, which one is the wrong one, or both don't work, or both work?
Hey, listen, that's how you tear it down. If you're talking to Christians, you're talking to organized religion, they say anything nuts, anything stupid, like the Old Testament's done away with, it's not, then you have to say you have no more credibility, respectfully. Respectfully, you have no more credibility because it's referenced at least 850 times. I got it ranged between 850 to 1,000 times. I think the most when I remember in my research, the most I can pick up is 1,000. So, Lena, we're talking about almost 1,000 times.
That's unbelievable.
So we dealing with it so the true scriptures we embrace. So look at that. That's the Berit Hadash. See that underneath where it says true scriptures? That means New Testament. So we reference it at least 850 times in here, and we agree with it, and we use it as our reference point for credibility. We don't try to push it away. So when we want to tap into the abundance of Yahuah, we got to go back and deal with him on how he establishes people to be in abundance. And we got to work within his principles when we're dealing with him. Now, Donna said, hey, she see it. Now I'm going to go to Bereshit, Lynn. Man, I got the
But
true
look,
scripture.
with that, I just look a little kind of quick research. But we're talking
Of
about
course.
there's total like around 260 chapters in the whole Bari Hadash, and you're talking that there's over 800 times, 850 mentions of the Tanakh in it. So we're talking about a lot of a percentage that is being talked about the Tanakh in the Bari Hadash. So
Yes, it's really,
it's
listen, what did Yahusha say? Yahuah
wow.
came as Yahusha. He
Yes.
said, Masha and the prophets, they were writing about me. He
Yep.
goes, you listen to them and you're good to do so. He says, and you, look, he said, way to go. Because they were writing about me. Bianca, people keep answering your question, sis. Be blunt. No. That's the answer to your question because you're going to deal with pagan terms, pagan philosophies in there. They've cleaned up some stuff, so we give them an applaud. But you keep asking the same question. We would love for you to stay with the lesson because the true snipers are in the building. They want to show you some love, but you got to hang in there with the sis. All right. So we've already translated. Bereshit. And you can so once you get Opal package qualified, you get access to all 50 chapters of Genesis. All 50 chapters. All right. Now, when you go in there, Lena, watch. I'm gonna read some stuff that's been there in front of people's faces all this time because they've been reading scriptures for years. And I'm gonna talk to them about some stuff. Ready? I'm going to Bereshit chapter 14. Now tell me what this means. This is important when you start to understand. I'm going to Bereshit chapter 14. I'm going to read starting in verse 18. And Malachi Zadok, there's this high priest called Malachi Zadok. Oh, Lena, that should bring in that. When you hear Malachi Zadok in the what? Tanakh,
But Tanakh,
that should grab your attention because they say that Yahusha, who is Yahuah, became Malachi Zadok.
Melchizedek.
What they doing putting Yahuwah's name on somebody that was mentioned in the Tanakh if the Tanakh ain't valid? Are y'all ready for this? And
Yes, let's
Malachi
go.
Zadok, the king of Shalom, brought bread and wine. He was a priest of the Most High Yahuah, and he favored him and said, "Favored is Abraham by the Most High Yahuah, possessor of heaven and earth." And Malachi Zadok, what did he do? He favored, gave compassion, sign named blessed, right? And he said, favored and Baruch is be the Most High Yahuah, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. So Malachi Zadok told Abraham, your enemies have been delivered into your hand by who? Yahuah. Guess what Abraham did immediately, Lena? You ready for this?
Ready.
And Abraham gave him a tenth of everything he had. Y'all see a principle there?
Yeah.
Abraham gave him a tenth of everything he had. You see, when Yahuah, if you're going to get in line with Yahuah, the principle of the tithe has got to be tied into you. It's never went away. And everybody that has been abundant in Yahuah, they do it. They don't play with this, Lena. They don't mess around with this. I want everybody to make a decision. How you gonna roll with this? Now, what do you do with the tithe? What do you do with it? You gotta find where Yahuwah's name is at. You can't just go out and throw it out to people and go, all the poor in the street, and they don't know where it's coming from. Nope. You can do that and make it part of your tithe or all of your tithe if you want. But it's got to be where Yahuwah's name is. I'm gonna prove it in a minute. All right, now watch this, Lena. Abraham, he heard Malachi Zadok. Y'all do a side note. Y'all have heard of this as Melchizedek. The real name is Malachi Zadok. Make a note, because we have to deal with him in the Brit Hadash, Lena. He don't go away.
No, and look, now that you're talking about that, so if they said that the tithes, that the Old Testament is being away, right? Is being pushed away and is not good anymore. So why they're still charging the tithes in the church?
They bring that up all the time. And they use Malachi Yahu, in order to give it credibility. And it looks stupid. We sitting there listening to it. No, we ain't. Not the people.
They pick what they want. That's it.
Cherry pick is what my daddy called it. Called it cherry pick. Now I'm in Bereshit, Genesis, and I'm reading from the true scriptures too, because we already got this translated. I'm in chapter 28, Lynn.
Page.
I'm in the Tanakh.
Oh, okay.
I've already translated Bereshit, right?
Yes.
It's already where can people get this at where I'm reading?
At in the digital collection. Digital collection on I'm gonna give the link on the sites, okay?
So Lena's gonna put the digital collection on the site, but if you go to tsinfo.org and you contribute to at least the Opal package, you get free access. Otherwise, to get all the books we got on there now, you'd have to pay about $200 to get them. Now watch this. I'm in Bereshit. We've already established to pay attention to Malachi Zadok. If you want to tap into the abundance of Yahuwah, I'm about to give you witness and evidence after evidence on how you are going to have to come into alignment and you're going to have to be born again. You can't be thinking about old principles of Christianity and organized religion because they do it to run a game on you. You're going to have to do it to come into alignment with Yahuwah. Now watch this. I'm in 28 of Genesis, Bereshit. Some of y'all already logging in and you're over on the digital collection. I'm going to start at verse 20. And Yaakov, who's Yaakov? So Abraham, Yiddishak, Isaac, and Yaakov. Who's Yaakov? This is Abraham's grandson. This is Yiddishak's son, Yaakov. Now, you ready for this? 28, verse 20. And Yaakov made a vow, saying, if Yahuah will be with me and will keep me in the way that I go and will give me food to eat. He's dealing with what, Lena? He's dealing with resources. He's dealing with lively things. Yaakov is saying, if Yahuah will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return again to my father's house in peace. And Yahuah is my Yahuah. He said, Yahuah, you got to be my Yahuah. Then this stone, which I set as a pillar, shall be Yahuah's house. So he said, I'm going to establish a place for Yahuah here. And of all that you shall give me, I will surely give a tenth to you. What are you doing saying that? Look, Daniel Bakota he's copying and pasting and putting in the chat for y'all. Because he's in that collection.
Yeah, he
This
gets
is
the
Abraham's
access.
that's his grandboy. That's his grandson. What's he doing talking to Yahuah like this, Lena? He said,
He
I'm going to
learned
read
it
it
from
again.
his grandfather.
He learned it. It's
He
passed
learned it from
down.
his
It didn't just come
grandfather.
out the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah, it says that we have it's passed generation to generation, and that's why it keep happening. Even in the Ten Commandments, you heard talk about generations over generations. So this is what we have to teach our kids.
You're either going to get favored generational or you're going to get cursed generational. If your finances is jacked up right now, you've been under a curse. Come out of her. Get back into a line. It's time, really, for everybody listening to my voice, make a vow to Yahweh. Do what Yaakov did. Woo! You know what I mean? If you got to understand this. Yaakov, think about it. Yaakov made a vow saying, if Yahuah will be with me and will keep me in the way that I go. Look what he said. In the way I go, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return again to my father's house in peace. And Yahuah is my Yahuah. Then this stone, which I set as a pillar, shall be Yahuah's house. And all that you shall give me, I will surely give a tenth to you. All right, now Daniel's got it on there. I'm going to put it up, Daniel. Thank you. I'm going to put that last part on there. So Daniel Bakoti's he's been beautiful enough to say, hey, look at that last part in verse 22. So this is chapter 28, 22. Look what Gerald said. He's following the order of Malachi Zadok, not Melchizedek. You got to learn how to spell that. Malachi Zadok. So now he's following the order. Fam, this is going to come up on you and I in the Brit Hadash. That's it. It's going to come up. It's going to come up. There's no way around it. It's going to come up. We're going to have to deal with Malachi Zadok. We're going to have to deal with the issue of tithes. Is it gone or is it here? Got to make up your mind. It is on and it is popping, right? I love it. I love it. And Yaakov made a vow. All right, now hold on. So now you got two witnesses talking about it in the Tanakh. Now, if we go over to Deborah, you got to put your seatbelts on now. If we go over to Deborah, which you know is Deuteronomy, it's a beautiful thing now. You go over to Deborah 14. Now watch. We go down to 22. Everybody got that on the screen? Then this stone which I set up as a pillar shall be Yahuah's house, and all that you shall give me, I will surely give a tenth to you. Y'all got that? Lenny, you on the point over there? I'm gonna stay deep in the scripture. You got the point? You got the
I
stab in?
can't.
No. I said
They,
talk to
they,
talk to talk to the true snipers real quick while I stay on focus.
okay, got you.
Got it. All right, you ready? Now, because Yahuah gonna break some people free. Satan don't want y'all to know this for nothing. He wants you to stay what? Feeling guilty. He wants you to stay sick. He wants you to stay sick. He wants you to stay impoverished. He don't want you nothing knowing what I'm teaching you right here. And I'm walking you down through it. So now I'm over in Dabarim. I'm in chapter 14, verse 22. You shall tithe without fail. He said, without fail. This is Yahuah talking. All the yield of your grain that field brings forth year by year. Now, some people will say he's talking about grain. He's talking about food. Hold on. Yahuah going to deal with all of this in these scriptures. He going to deal with it. And you shall eat before Yahuah your Elohim in the place where he chooses to make his name dwell. That's a big deal. Where does he choose to make his name dwell right now? Where does he choose to make his name dwell, fam? In us. See, that's something we can't get around. And when we call on the name of Yahuah, now that stone that he said, what did Yaakov say? He said, then this stone, which I set up as a pillar, shall be Yahuah's house. We are now that stone that is Yahuah's house. He comes and lives in us. So now it says, you shall eat before Yahuah your Elohim in the place where he chooses to make his name dwell. The tithe of your grain and your new wine, he took it past just grain now. He took it to new wine too. He said, I want a tenth of your new grain. I want a tenth of your wine, right? And a tenth of your oil. And the firstlings from your herds. I want a tenth of your herds. So your cattle, your sheep. So that you learn to fear Yahuah your Elohim always. He attached, and the fear here is respect. High respect. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure to translate that properly. You are to give ultimate respect. By doing a tenth of everything you got, it brings you into ultimate respect of Yahuah. You're trusting him. But when the way is too long for you, so that you are not able to bring the tithe, see, they had to go bring it to the place where he had his name. Now, how far do you have to go to where he has his name? Now, you just got to look in the mirror. As a matter of fact, you just got to touch yourself. That's where he's supposed to be if you've done what you're supposed to do. Where Yahuah, your Elohim, chooses to put his name. All right, now watch. When the place where Yahuah, your Elohim, chooses to put his name is too far from you, it ain't too far from you no more. When Yahuah, your Elohim, is favoring you, then you shall give it in silver, money. There you go, Lena. Now it's money, fam. He done took it from grain. He said, I want 10% of your grain. I want 10% of your wine, your oil, your herds, right? Including your cattle, your sheep, your donkeys, your camels, everything. Now he took it to money. He says, if it's too far away from you, or what that's telling you, if you're not raising cattle, you're not raising gardens and fields, he says, then you bring it in silver. Then you shall give it in silver, and you shall take the silver in your hand and go to the place where Yahuah Elohim chooses. You ain't got to look far. He done chose you. He done chose you. Now you ain't got to go too far. He chose you. Your name is supposed to be his pillar. It's on that quick. Your name is supposed to be his pillar. Hallelujah. Look how smooth that is. Look how smooth that is. I love it. We ain't got to go far now. We ain't got to go all over the place. We ain't got to do this. We ain't got to do that. It's just that simple. How you think about that? What y'all think about this so far, fam? Is Yahuah talking to you? Is he giving you a message right now? Is he saying, look, we can do this. We can do this. We can do it. You ain't got to wonder. You ain't got to guess. We can do it. But you got to do it with me because I'm now in you. We can do it. He's saying we can do it. I'm sitting there waiting for you to activate me. How to tap into the abundance of me. I'm in you. Tap me. But you're going to have to come into alignment. You got to stop believing what they told you. They told you lies. And they were contradicting themselves right in front of your face. They were saying the Tanakh is over. And then they turn around, they quote the Tanakh to get you to bring tithes into a pagan building. They call it their pillar. They call it the house of God. Come on, Lena. They call it the house of God, G-O-D. What? And people putting money in there, perpetuating the fraud. And so now we're exposing it and we're going, no. Here it is. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Watch this, Lena. I'm not done yet. Now I'm going to pick up something that y'all got a hold of. I'm going to check something real quick. Yahuah's talking to me right now. Hey, true scriptures. Now, I done gave you witnesses from the Tanakh, Lena.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go into the true scriptures. What is this? The what? The Berit
Hadash.
All right. Is it talking about tithes in here?
Yes.
Does Yahuah Mashiach tell you to tithe in the scriptures? Does Yahuah Mashiach tell us to tithe? Let me tell you, you know when he told us to tithe? He was rebuking the parashim when he was telling us and them to tithe. He was saying, yes. Watch. I'm on page 60. I'm in Bereshit. I'm in Matati Yahu from the Berit Hadash. So Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. He says, woe to you, scribes and parashim, Pharisees, hypocrites. Look what he says, Lena. You ready? He says, you tithe from your mint, dill, and cumin. He said, you tithing from things you have. Look what he says next, Lena. Yet you neglect the more important things from the law, such as justice, compassion, and faithfulness. These are important things you should have done without neglecting the others. He's saying you should have done, you're supposed to tithe. But you got to do these other things too. He says you're doing a good thing by tithing. Come on, Daniel. Daniel coming through with a nice soup.
Thank you, Brother Daniel.
This is for our set-apart teaching that Brother Jay is teaching. We know it comes from Abba Yahuah. That's what Brother Daniel.
Hallelujah.
He's an overseer. Brother Daniel, I'm going to put that on the screen. Daniel's an overseer. Yahuah has elevated him to overseer. He's watching. He's screening. He sees what's going on. What did he say here, Lena? He said it and said, woe to you, scribes, parashim, and hypocrites. You tithe from your mint, dill, and cumin, yet you neglect the more important things from the law, such as justice, compassion, and faithfulness. These are the important things you should have done. Then he says something, without neglecting the others. Don't neglect tithing. You need to tithe because they were doing that part. See, they know to do that part. They know the tithe, man. They know to tithe. They know it's a man, and it's something supernatural. I don't know how Yahuah set up this way. People that are not even in his name, when they tithe, there's something happen on the earth. They even get increase from earthly things when they do that principle. It's weird. But it's Yahuah. All right, so we just proved in the New Testament that Yahuah Mashiach, the Messiah, said, don't neglect from tithing. He just said it. He said, but also, see, there's some people in they're going to tithe and they're going to be mean. They're going to be rude. And they're going to say, well, I'm giving money. You can't buy Yahuah. He said you got to do it all. You got to tithe, and then what else you got to do? You got to show justice. You got to show compassion. You got to show faithfulness. You got to do it all.
The word Brother Amber said.
What'd she say?
Our sister Amber said, I knew. I quit for a while and it didn't go well for me.
See? Because now you got to deal with Malachi Yahuah. Hold on. Now Amber's leading in. She said that for a reason. Because now I'm going to go back one book. I'm going to go to Malachi Yahuah. That's Malachi, chapter 3, right? And he says, what does he say? For I am Yahuah, I do not change. So you sons of Yaakov, remember, Lena? Remember? He just said Yaakov made a vow to him. Y'all think that ain't attached to that? The vow that Yaakov made. Now, all them years later, his descendants, Yahuah saying, I remember Yaakov. He says, I made a deal with Yaakov. He made a deal with me to tithe everything he got. Every 10%, he going to give me 10% of everything he got. That was a deal. That's a vow he made. He made it. And so now we get all the way to Malachi Yahuah, and Yahuah brings it up. He goes, for I am Yahuah, I do not change. And you, O sons of Yaakov, therefore you are not destroyed and brought to an end. From the days of your fathers, you have turned aside from my laws and did not guard them. He's saying, you didn't do what Yaakov did. He's going to tell you exactly what Yaakov did. I don't think anybody's ever took you all the way back to Bereshit, Genesis 28:20, showed you the vow that Yaakov made, and then showed you exactly what they've been preaching in these churches and getting foul all these years. I'm showing you that Genesis 28:20 through 22 is attached directly to Malachi Yahuah, chapter 3, verses 6 through the end. Did you know that, Lee? Does most people know that? Most people have no idea that Genesis chapter 28, 20 through 22 is attached to Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. Did y'all know it? Put it in the chat. See? He goes, for I am Yahuah, I do not change. Therefore, you sons of Yaakov shall not come to an end. From the days of your fathers, you have turned aside from my laws and did not guard them. Turn back to me, and I shall turn back to you, says Yahuah of hosts. But you are asking, in what way should we turn back? Look what he says, Lena. Would a man rob a lure? Yet you are robbing me. But you say, in which way have we robbed you? In tithes and offerings. He now goes back and says, I know the vow.
And he's tying that to the commandment.
Yeah.
Because you will not steal. So you will be breaking a commandment, because that was a deal. It was an agreement made from our ancestors with Yahuah. So we are part of those generations when that deal was made. So we have a responsibility to keep with Yahuah with that agreement.
Yaakov, if you are from the 12 tribes, which everybody we're calling saying, you're drawn to Yahuah now, it's a high probability that you are from the 12 tribes. From who, Lena? From Yaakov.
From Yaakov.
It's his 12 sons. He became Yisrael. He gave birth to 12. He bore 12 sons. That's why Yahuah is dealing with this in Malachi Yahuah, and he's specific. He didn't bounce around. He said, Yaakov made a deal with me to bring me 10% of everything he's got. Everything I bring to him, he's supposed to give me 10% back, and he's supposed to teach it to his generations. And y'all are not doing it. That's what he's saying here. How you going to get around this? See? Y'all are not doing it. He says, you're robbing me from the agreement that I made, he says it, with your fathers. You've turned aside. Then he says, you have cursed me. You have tried to curse me, but you are cursed with a curse. For you are robbing me, this entire nation, all of it. And then later he gets specific. In verse 10, he says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so that there may be food in my house, and test me in this. Now he goes back and said, go back and check in. Go back and do study on what I did with your ancestor Yaakov. See how much I expanded him. Go on back. Take a look. How much did Yaakov have, Lena?
A lot.
One of his sons is named Yusuf, Lena.
Yusuf, yeah.
How much he have?
A lot. A lot.
He was over my star.
And you can go back into all the books and you see that Yahuah's people, they was always in abundance. They never was lacking of things unless Yahuah was teaching them something. Or
unless
Yahuah
they
was
left the
getting them
agreement.
somewhere.
If they left the agreement.
Yeah. And even when they came out of Egypt, he told them to grab all the gold. But then what happened? They went and did something wrong with the gold. They started building calves and all these things. But we all supposed to have lands over lands over lands over lands. Like we shouldn't even get close to each other. How much land should we have?
Matter of fact, we had to part. What happened? They had look. Abraham had so much, and his nephew Lot had so much. They couldn't live close to each other because it was they all couldn't handle it. So what we're doing here is, for the first time for many of y'all going, man, I understand the scriptures. And it's going to be that way with all the true scriptures. You just got to have somebody that's sent by Yahuah come and bring you the truth. You cannot manipulate us. We've been tried too hard. Too much fire done come at me. And then my wife, when she decided to get married to me, I said, you want to marry into this fire? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. But and you know what? Like the Yahuah is showing us right there how the abundance should be. Like how much things we should have and we should expect. But then church is telling you that money is evil. But why is not evil for them to receive it? Why is not evil for them to have gold in different banks around the world? When they can use that and eradicate with all the money they have, they can eradicate the poorness in the world.
Get rid of poverty, period. Get rid of homelessness. They can get rid of it. It can be solved right now. That's what we're building to eradicate the nonsense. And we got Brother Daniel Libby sitting in the waiting room. Hang tight, Brother Daniel. We're coming to get you. But you know we own one here. See? Look at Yolanda says, you are teaching the truth concerning these matters, Brother Jensen. See? Hardly anybody wants to touch the money stuff. Two things that people want more of. They want more money and they want more sex. They just don't know how to get it the right way. They don't know how to get the money the right way, and they don't know how to get the sex the right way, so they stay guilty on both. Promote the truth is going to teach you how to do it right. I'm telling you right now, this is crazy, Lena. Malachi, all this time, y'all see me operating every day? I'm operating under the scriptures of Yahuah saying that everybody that don't bring a tenth of what he brings them into where his name is, you're under a curse. He says, but if you do bring it, he says, test me in this, says Yahuah of hosts, and see if I do not open the windows of heavens and pour you out so much abundance, you don't have enough to receive it. You don't got enough room to receive it. That's how you tap into the abundance of Yahuah. You got to come into alignment. If you're from the 12 tribes, you are connected to Yaakov's vow. I love that. Ken said tithe how. You got to find where Yahuah has his name. In your city, you got some situations going on now. We suggest you go print some Promote the Truth brochures. You can do it for free. Lena, drop that link in the chat if you don't mind. You can go, it's promotethetruth.com/witness, but she's gonna put it in the chat. You can download that, go over to Staples, then you got to pay for the cost of you printing it. And then take 10% of your money. Some people say, well, can I give it to promote the truth? If you want to, you see us. We got Yahuah's name in here. You see it. It's everywhere. And we promote Yahuah's name, so you will be put in a good place where it's going to be working to propel the kingdom rapidly. But we don't tell you put it all in here. And you ain't got to put none of it in here. We're going to keep going. His sheep hear his voice. And those that are part of 144, they will build up with promote the truth. And we will build the treasury of the kingdom in here together. Just 144 of us. And we'll reach out to the world. But we tell you, I'm going to tell you what we do. We go out. And it's usually there's no time we go out. That we ain't got brochures. And we got some money that we will go to people. We see them in need and we go, hey, Yahuah sent us to you today. The name of the creator is Yahuah. And we'll explain to him who he is. And he wants you to understand that he's calling you. And this brochure is going to teach you his name. You remember, if you don't respect this money, you should take this money and not touch it. You should give it back. You should hold it till you see me again or give it to somebody else. Don't do it with that money unless you're willing to respect Yahuah's name, because he's the one giving it to you. And he created you. Now I'm working that tithe. You see what I'm saying, brother? I'm working the tithe. I'm working the storehouse. He says, prove me in this. Now, how many of y'all want to have so much abundance, you ain't got room enough to receive it? That's the title here. How do you tap into the abundance of Yahuah? Who would love to have that happen? You're going to have to work this. Yahuah says, I'm going to rebuke the devourer for you, so that it does not come to destroy the fruit of your ground, and your vine won't bear fruit, and your vine fail to give you fruit. So now everything's going to turn up. Everything's going to turn up. You're going to stop having a hole in your sack. You're going to stop. How did I get all this money? I can't find. Where's it at? You're going to stop. You're going to start coming out of debt. You're going to start growing. It's a process. You're going to grow to become the lender, not the borrower. All of us, me and Lena, are in the process growing with you. We started from the bottom, scratch. And we said, we're going to work these principles. We ain't moving from the left to the right. Why y'all think we don't play? Yahuah disciplined the heck out of us several years ago. Why? We didn't understand fully how to observe the Shabbat, even after all them years I've been studying. You be thinking I'm doing Yahuah's work, and this came up, that came up, the ox is in the ditch, continually being in the ditch. And Yahuah said, you know better. I'm gonna, those I love, I discipline. And we did it out of ignorance. Now,
no matter what happened in Shabbat, we understand that it's actually like a test. No matter what happened in Shabbat, we're not doing nothing in Shabbat. But it was that we was learning that it was like all these things was coming up in the Shabbat. And then yes, like our brother said, we just got disciplined really hard by Yahuah, and that Yahuah, it was disciplining us, and at the same time he was putting us in the right path to get here to you guys.
Yeah, he was teaching us. And y'all better be thankful we didn't quit while he was whooping the heck out of us. Yahuah whooped us hard. He looked at our heart. He knew we weren't doing it intentional, but guess what? You can't cast good intentions with Yahuah. You can't say, man, well, I intend to do this. No, he going to teach you. Don't touch that fire. You get burned. All right, now I'm going to bring Brother Daniel Libby in here before I keep this lesson. I got more. I'm halfway on teaching you how to tap into the abundance. But we got Brother Daniel Libby in here. Brother, he got froze. All right, I'm going to keep going while he's in here. Now, hold on, Lena. Hold on. I brought up Malachi Zadok, didn't I?
You did.
The Yahuah done told you to bring it into the storehouse. And then he says, all nations shall call you highly favored. For you should, now listen, you shall be a land of delight. Lena, he said you're going to be, Lena, you will be a land. He didn't say you're going to be a person of delight. He said, why do you think he said you will be a land of delight?
Because
Why
you're
do you think
gonna
he
be abundance. You're gonna be representing.
said that?
You
You're
better
going to have
represent.
land.
You cannot say Yahuah is gonna give you everything. Whatever you ask in the name of Yahuah, you're going to have it. And then you're not asking to have better life, to have better home, to have uh, a better place where to put your family, a better car, a better vacations, a better homeschooling, better clothes. If we are teaching everybody that whatever you ask in the name of Yahuwah is not going to be denied, so are we asking all the time for less? Is that something like that we are doing as us as a living persons? Are we always thinking that? I don't know one person that don't want the best for themselves or for their family.
I'm telling you right now, you have not because you asked not. I'm going to try Brother Daniel one more time. Brother Daniel, he's coming in, he's coming in, he's coming in, coming in, coming in. He's waiting, he's waiting. He got something going on with his internet, I think. Daniel, can you hear us? All right, Brother Daniel, we're going to catch you next time. His internet is jacked.
Brother Daniel, we
Who
love
else we got?
you.
Sister Sherry in the building.
Woo!
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
We hear you
sis.
great.
We can hear
All right,
you.
what do you
Awesome.
think about this lesson so far, Sister Sherry? What do you talk to us?
It's powerful, very powerful. And from someone who tithed in the circus, like I was a tither, like I know what it does. I know what tithing does. I did not tithe until I left the circus. And then I quit tithing because I didn't know Yahuah and I didn't have anywhere to tithe to. I mean, I still went out and did my thing. Like I gave money in diaper bags and that kind of stuff. I still did that. I'm not going to say I did 10%, but I did still do stuff. But I noticed it. I know what happened. So, I did a plummet big time. So, yeah, I'm back to tithing. I have been for quite a while, and my bills get paid. I don't know how it happens. Math don't math. It happens. I'm tickled. And I always have money left. So I give more whenever chance I get. I give money. So it's like,
So, Sherry, had you ever thought about the lesson I taught tonight that Yaakov made a deal with Yahuwah? He did a vow, and it
no,
was
I
a
did not.
10% vow. What'd you think about that when you tied to Malachi?
I, I have never heard that before. Like I said, that when I went to the circus, they really didn't teach a lot of the Old Testament. Therefore, I did not even dive into the Old Testament. I really want to dive into the Old Testament now because I know just from proofing the scriptures and reading the truth scriptures how much it references the Tanakh. And now it's just like I really want to read the Tanakh because it references it so much that you really want to go back
So,
and
so you reviewed it meticulously. So when I say at least
oh,
850 times, you think that's accurate?
absolutely, absolutely. Because every time it mentions it now, I want to go back, but of course I didn't have the truth scriptures to go back to. I would look at like the one that fixed the words but didn't fix the language, if you will. So I would go
Right.
back and look at some of those. But I knew they weren't accurate, so I just quit even doing that. I'm like, I'll figure all that out when we get the Tanakh out. So
That's
it's
it.
pretty awesome though.
Hey,
But
listen,
I had
Lenny, you got
connected.
anything you want to ask Sister Sherry? She was with us a few weeks ago. You was just here, and
I
now,
was, and I miss
ooh,
it
no.
already. I miss it so bad. It's like I'm coming back.
Hey, Lenny, anything you want to ask Sherry about her trip here? Anything, man. It's on you.
I want you to tell the family, the new people that we have, because I can see we have new people. This community, you came to Colombia to celebrate Sakut, and that's
Right.
also something that whoever is new here need to understand about all the feast. But you came here to celebrate this feast of Yahuwah, and you only knew us and the staff. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't know the rest of the people that came and
Yeah.
gathered together. how was that experience to know people that is new, and a lot of times you get with people that you don't know and you're a little bit like reserved. How was that experience?
It was wonderful. I mean, everybody was so loving and so together. Everybody was in one accord. There was no drama. There was no conflict. There was just people loving each other and loving Yahuah openly. That's the amazing part, because it was open. You knew who was in Yahuah and who was not, as far as who was in on the grounds.
Right.
Because if you were someplace, and like somebody else today said, and somebody yelled Yahuah, I mean, you heard it throughout the whole campground. It would just be like this snap around the campground. You'd hear the Yahuah call. So it was like, come together. Okay, it was like our call to come together. So there was a lot of people I met a lot of people. Everybody just embraced each other, and it was wonderful. They are a family, and you are in a family. When you're here, you're in a family. There is no pretending here. It's genuine. It's real. What you see is what you get. There's no fake. It's genuine love, and we love on everybody, and that's the way it should be. So.
We love you and we miss you. Can't wait to
Miss
have
you.
you back
Right.
here.
Now, people, we got the summer retreat coming up. Anybody that gets to Emerald, they have the ability to submit for
Mhm.
getting to the beautiful island. We're going to be over off of Cartagena. Are you going to be there, Sherry?
I am confirmed. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I saw your name there. I'm not
Did you see it, young
It's
man?
there. I have my confirmation email.
twice.
Yeah, I got my confirmation.
Even though
Hey.
she's part of the staff, she's like, I'm making.
Yeah, we always like, what are you doing? She's like,
I just want to make sure I'm there. Yeah. So.
Sherry. One of the big things is I saw you walking around the campgrounds. I saw you just weaving in and out, and I always see this shine on your face, like you were so proud of everything. Did it surprise you how Colombia is based on how they try to project it from back in the day in the news? Did it surprise you?
It really did surprise me. I was blown away. The beauty, it's absolutely beautiful. The people are just as friendly as they can be, even if you can't speak Spanish, which
Right.
I can't. They tried really hard to help you in any way they could. We did a little sign language here and there, kind of this stuff. But they were wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I never felt intimidated. I never felt afraid in any way. I mean, there was just nothing there to make me fear anything. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Even the people in the campground that were there visiting, I mean, everybody was just as friendly as they could be. I mean, it was just very, very unique. I've not experienced that in the States. Like,
no, the love. I mean, you feel like
you don't
authentic
see
social
that
and love.
in the States. And when you go out to eat or something, or just out and about, you see family. You see a lot of family togetherness. A lot. They love each other. They dance together. They sing together. They play together. They do everything together.
Hey, Sherry, you will see the teenagers. You will see the teenagers holding hands with their mom or their dad walking in the mall.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of family togetherness there that you just absolutely do not see here. You just don't see it in the States.
I love it. All right, somebody's asking when is like Brother Al in the bill. What's up, Brother Al? I see you. Brother Al, did you get, you got to send us a message over here. They said that you sent a message saying that you were having your truth scriptures come to you. I want to get your feedback. The Tanakh Old Testament is being done now. I'm on the case. Sherry's one of the reviewers, so she's about to start getting information now. We predicted to be done in the spring of 2025. A lot of books going through. That's why
the translation.
the translation will be done.
The end of the translation, yes.
That's why I love the digital platform, because we can be sprinkling books on there that you guys can be reading. That's why it's great to get to at least Opal package qualified to where you can get the access to them. Or you can go buy them if you want, but it's better just to support and get qualified on there. Sister Sherry, you got any party words? I'm gonna go right back in this message. Do you enjoy this message I'm teaching today, by the way?
I am enjoying this message, and it is 100% accurate. I mean, I know just from experience what tithing does. I know that I know that I know that if you tithe, you will see it come back to you.
Right on. We love
You
our
just
sister. Y'all put some fire emojis in the chat for our sister Sherry in the building. Y'all know she brings it every time. She loves the call. She loves each and every one of us, and she pours her heart relentlessly. She really helps with the reviewing all the translations. So she's awesome. Put some fire emojis in the chat for Sister Sherry. Hey, later, brother Al. He got some influence in the world, by the way. He has an incredible business. You know, he's been a very successful businessman. He says he's been using the true scriptures in his studies now with other Nazarene. So people that call on Yahuah. So now, see, it's starting to flex out. And hey, people can't argue with that. They can get upset. I tell you what, there's going to be some people get upset. Fact. Why? It's going to kill their traditions. Look at Sister Annette.
It's gonna hurt some people.
Sister Annette coming in with that wonderful super. She said, guard the commandments of Yahuah. Yahuah is life. Life is Yahuah. Malakuta di Shamia. That's the kingdom of heaven. Hallelujah, Yahuah. This message is fire. I'm going back in. And then I'm going to get Brother Daniel here in a little bit. Brother Daniel, you come in when I'm done. I got about 5, 6 more verses I got to point everybody to, Brother Daniel. And then Brother Daniel Bakote is coming in here on our closeout. But Lena, we kept talking about Malachi Zadok. Why is that important? Y'all know it as Melchizedek. The real name is Malachi Zadok. It's very important that you understand how important Malachi Zadok is. Now I'm gonna go. Guess what I'm gonna pick up, Lena?
It's your scriptures.
She starts smiling. She starts smiling. Go to Abarim, sign named Hebrews.
What page?
Going over there to Abarim. And now everybody's starting to say, what page? That's what we want. We want the true scriptures so infiltrated throughout the world, the people. So we're going to be on page 300 and we're going to chapter 7. All right, we're going to 358. Page 358 in the true scriptures. We're in Abarim. We're in chapter 7. Why is it so important that you understand the principles of tithing? And that if you want abundance, you got to do it. If you don't want abundance, don't do it. Watch what happens. Daniel, we're on page 358. I'm on chapter 7. Thank you, Brenda. You the bomb, sis. I'm on 7. I'm going to start at verse 4. No, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to start at verse 3. No, I'm going up. I got to start at verse 1, Lena. I'm going to verse 1. It's so hot.
Page 357.
357. Back it up. Back that thing up. Ready? This Malachi Zadok. Hold on. I actually got to go to chapter 6. Verse 8. I'm going to 6:18 on page 357. So I'm on Hebrews chapter 6, verse 18 in the True Scriptures, page 357. 6:18. So these are two things that do not change. Lena. He said, these are two things that do not change. His promise and his oath. Lena, did he make a promise to Yaakov and an oath? Wasn't that a vow established?
It was.
Huh? So watch what's happening. Shaul, who's doing this in Hebrew. This is written in Abari. These are two things that do not change, his promise and his oath. And it is impossible for Alua to lie. Thank you, Brother Larry, in the building. He did this for those of us who have taken refuge in him to give us strong encouragement so that we maintain the hope that is in front of us. This certain hope of being saved is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls, directly connecting us with Yahuah himself, who is behind the set apart curtains of heaven, where Yahuah Mashiach, Lena, where Yahuah Mashiach has gone ahead to plead for us from his position as our what?
High priest.
With honor according to the what?
Order of Malachi Sadak.
It's back up in our face. It's back up in our face,
In the
fam.
Bari Hadash.
Woo! Now we back. Hey, we was in the Tanakh, and it said Abraham, he tied to Malachi Zadok. Now it's saying that our hope is in these promises of the covenant. We know a covenant was made with Yaakov. That's why Yahuah said, you house of Yaakov are not destroyed because of my covenant, because of my oath, my promise I made. And now, and he mentioned Yaakov's name, Lena. He didn't leave us, he didn't do it ambiguous, right? No ambiguity. Now he says, where Yahushua Mashiach has gone ahead to plead for us from his position as our high priest with honor according to the order of Malachi Zadok. So if you gonna roll with Yahuah Mashiach, you have to come under the discipline of Malachi Zadok. You can't say I follow Yahuah Mashiach, the Mashiach, sign named Messiah, and you don't do Malachi Zadok. And what does it continue to say, Lena? Chapter 7, verse 1. This Malachi Zadok was king of the city of Shalom, and he was priest of the Most High Yahuah. When Abraham was returning home after winning a great battle against many kings, Malachi Zadok Baruch him, sign name blessed him. Then Abraham did what, Lena? Verse 2.
Took a tenth of all he had won in the battle and gave it to Malachi Sadak.
Why do you think he's saying that? What's Shaul bringing that up here for?
Because it's a teaching for what we're supposed to do. He's teaching them. If all the teachings that they had to the people at that moment was from the past, was from the teachings of the Old Testament, the Tanakh. So
this is one of them 850 plus, Lena, right here.
Yes, it's connected, which means we are still obligated to this.
He gave him 10%, a tenth of everything. Malachi Zadok name means justice. So he is the king of justice. He is also the king of peace because the name of his city is Shalom, which means peace. Now, Malachi Zadok had no known father or mother. Who was he? Yahuah dialing up these mysteries. And it's right in front of our face. Lena, they don't know who I am.
No mother, no father, and he's been from the beginning. So
Lena, do they know who I am? Do they know who I am? Y'all know who I am. But I'm telling y'all some truths. Watch. Now Malachi Zadok had no known father or mother. And there is no record of any of his ancestors. He has no beginning or end of life. But he is the likeness of the son of Yahuah and remains priest forever.
Did Yahuah was on earth again in the flesh? For how many times we've been reading that Yahuah's been on the flesh? He was talking and sitting and drinking and eating with Abraham when he came to tell him that he was going to have a son, and then now we see here Malachi Sadak, and then Yahushua Mashiach, that was Yahuah Mashiach, also him in the flesh.
Hey, It don't say he's made in the likeness. It says he is in the likeness of the son of Yahuah and remains a priest forever. I don't know what Archella, what y'all gonna do with this? Donna said, wow. Y'all go ahead. If you don't want to go into the abundance of Yahuah, you ignore Malaki Zadok and the principle of the tithe. Watch. Notice verse 4. Notice how Malaki Zadok, notice how great Malaki Zadok was. The Shaul's bringing this up. He wants us to notice how great Malaki Zadok was. And Abraham, the patriarch, gave him what, Lena?
A tenth of a tenth out of everything he captured.
Gave him a tenth. What y'all gonna do with this? Indeed. Can y'all handle this? Indeed, the descendants of Louis, Levi, who received the office of the priest, have a commandment under the law to collect tithes from the people. That's where people go, oh, the tithe only supposed to go to the Levites, the Luyim. Watch, pay attention. Who are their brothers and sisters, and the people who have descended from Abraham. But, what's but mean, Lena?
It negates the back, the last
You already
thing I
wiped
said.
something out. Shaul said, but Malaki Zadok, who is not related to them, received a tenth of everything from Abraham. And he favored Abraham, who had received the promises of Yahuah. What y'all gonna do with this? Without question, the less important person is favored by the more important person. Additionally, in one case, a tenth is received by people who die. And in another case, according to the record, a tenth is received by someone who continues to live. It can be said that Louis himself, who received tithes, even he paid tithes to Malaki Zadok through Abraham. See, what this is telling us is everything is pointing back to who? Yahuah Mashiach.
Yes, to the
Y'all learning
beginning.
something? Put it in the chat if y'all going to another level through this teaching. You think the 10th ain't critical? Why is this being hammered in here? Why is that vow being hammered? And why is Yahuah hammering everybody who don't do it? He says, I was coming to destroy you, but I remember my promises and my oath with Yaakov. Therefore, you're all not destroyed. I'm giving you a chance to repent. You ain't been doing tithing right. That's one where you gotta repent on. Yahuah, forgive me. The beautiful part about this, I'm gonna give you an out. This is not a salvational issue. That's it. I love what Brother Al says. 10% is the starting point. Because if you go and study the other part, it actually goes up to 30%. But you got to understand, I'll do another training on that. Because you got to do something for the widows. It's a lot of different ways that Yahuah takes care of, but they have been increased so much, Lena, that it was no thing for them to give. It was no
Yes,
thing.
they were so abundant, and that's why the title of this final session on the Telethon. If we are not abundant and we are not even thinking in abundance, how you even try to help anybody? You need to help yourself first. So start with your 10%. Give it like how we do. What we did here, like for example, we repair the streets, but we just don't just repair the streets here. We put a big sign saying these
Massive.
streets are being repaired with the help of Yahuah. And we have a big QR code in the sign where everybody can go and scan and go to video, the name video in Spanish. We give brochures. When we're helping anybody in the streets, we give brochures. When we giving money to the foundation here, it's in the name of Yahuah. Those kids need to learn about Yahuah. So anybody that we are helping, they always have to know that money comes from Yahuah. Just
From
even
Yahuah.
yesterday, I have a person that helped with some services, and her motorcycle got caught. But she didn't know, and she parked her motorcycle in a place where she didn't supposed to. So the police just took her motorcycle and put it in the, I don't know how they call it in USA, but it's a place where they take that, and she had to take that motorcycle. But in order to do that, she had to pay some money, and she was doing
They
some raising money.
impounded it. So they impounded it. They took possession of it.
Correct. Yes. So she had to go and pay for that, and that's the way she's able to work. So if she don't have her motorcycle, she cannot work, and then she cannot make money and get the motorcycle out. So I saw she was doing some things to raise some money, and I said, "What happened to you?" And she told me, and I said, "Don't worry, Yahuwah is gonna help you." And I put and then she's like, "What do you mean?" And I have been talking to her about Yahuwah. So I said, "Look, tell me how much is that you're missing, and we're gonna help you." Yahuwah is actually the one helping you. And I sent her the money, and she was shocked. So even though right there she don't understand everything, she's not calling Yahuwah. That's a seed, but she knows that money is coming from Yahuwah. It's not this other pagan names or whatever, but that's the way that you can do tithe here, tithe there, and you can see how's your money. And you see how many favors you get from Yahuwah when you do that.
Open up. Listen, now I taught you tithing. I want to open you up to the complete abundance of Yahuwah. I got about another 5 verses I'm going to read, and I'm bringing Brother Daniel in here. Brother Daniel, about 15 minutes. Come in. First fruits. First fruits. Shamut, chapter 23, verse 19. Bring the first of the first fruits. Bring the first of the first fruits of your land into the house of Yahuwah, your Yahuwah. Got that? You bring the first, it says. Whatever you get, you're going to have to bring the first. You're going to have to get used to saying, I get something, I can't pay no bills, I can't get no gas, I got some money. Where are my first fruits going? My tithes are going. Where are your first fruits going? Mashalim, sign named Proverbs, chapter 3. Seatbelts on. I'm in chapter 3. Yeah, this is good. Esteem Yahuwah with your resources and with the first fruits of all of your increase. Then your storehouses will be filled with plenty and your vats overflow. Catch that, Lena? First fruits. Are you giving Yahuwah your best up front? You know when he's increasing you. How you coming back to him? Debarim, 26. Debarim, 26. Sign named Deuteronomy. You ready, Lena?
Ready.
And it shall be when you come into the land which Yahuwah your Yahuwah is giving you as an inheritance, and you possess it and dwell in it. What Lena said to y'all earlier is Yahuwah is now ready to give us lands. We, as the followers of Yahuwah, don't have enough land. That day is over. We now are going to take possession of lands. Put it in the chat if you agree. You touch and agree. So now that we know we're getting ready to go into this, we got to prep. See, they hadn't went in yet, Lena. Now they're getting ready to go in. It goes, when you go in to dwell in it, that you shall take the first of all your fruits, which you bring from your land that Yahuwah your Yahuwah is giving you, and you shall put it in a basket, and go to the place where Yahuah your Eluah chooses to make his name dwell there. It's in you. You ain't got to go looking for it. And you
Yes.
shall come to the one who is the what? Priest in those
It's,
days. Who's the priest? Who's the high priest now?
yeah.
Malaki Zadok. Who sits in that position? Yahuwah Mashiach. And say to him, I shall declare today that Yahuwah, the Eluah, that I have come to the land which Yahuwah swore to our fathers to give us. And the priest shall take from the basket from your hand and place it before Yahuwah your Eluah. And you shall answer and say before Yahuwah your Eluah, my father was a perishing Amarnian, and he went down to Matzar, Egypt, and sojourned there, traveled with a few men. And there he became a nation. Man, he became a nation, great, mighty, and numerous. He went down struggling, Lena. Fam, he went down struggling. But when you bring your first fruits, Yahuwah is ready to make you a nation. But the Matzarim did evil to us and afflicted us and imposed hard labor on us, made them slaves. Then we cried out to Yahuwah, the Eluah of our fathers, and Yahuwah heard our voice and saw our affliction and our toil and our oppression. And Yahuwah brought us out of Matzar, Egypt, with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm and with great fear and with signs and wonders. He brought us to this place and has given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now see, I have brought the first fruits of the land which you, O Yahuwah, have given me. Then you shall place it before Yahuwah your Eluah, and bow down to Yahuwah your Eluah, and shall rejoice in all the good which Yahuwah your Eluah has given you and your house, you and the Luyim and the stranger who is among you. What you gonna do with this, Lena? This is prepping you to go get abundance. You got to have this mindset. You got to be looking for increase. And when the increase comes, first fruits. Don't ever get an increase and not first fruited. You
Yes.
learn what are you picking that up from that, Lena?
Yes, yes. I think it's very important that you teach this, and I think us talking about where to, where to do our first fruit and how to do it, and then also knowing that it's so important that whatever we put, that increase that Yahuwah is giving us is somewhere where Yahuwah is at, because the world is gonna have a lot of places where they're gonna need money, but it's like we was talking just 2 days ago. We don't pray for the world to be safe. We don't pray for the world that nothing happened to them, because Yahuwah have said and say and let us know that there's gonna be wars, that there's gonna be nature things happening, and that's it. It have to happen in order to, for him to come back. The same way that he came to earth and he have to die the way he did, it was to fulfill the word. So he's saying something how it's going to happen, that's to fulfill the word. So we can pray for them to come to Yahuwah and learn about Yahuwah and repent from everything. Is the same way we have to also know what to do with that 10%, or with this excess of money that we're going to have.
You're gonna do a tithe. He gives me my regular money. I'm gonna take 10%. Then he's gonna increase me. When I see an increase shift, I then take my mind and go first fruits, and I bring a nice portion of that first of what he increased me, and I give it to him. And now, like Brother Daniels, I got the cycle. Brother Michael Fickett is saying, hey, if you can do more, do more. You know what Yahuwah is doing to you. Second, Dabar Aha Ahanim. Second Dabar Aha Emim. That's Second Chronicles 31, verse 5. Listen. Listen to this, Lena. And as the word spread, the children of Israel brought large quantities of the first fruits of their grain, their wine, their oil, their honey, and all the increase of the field. And they brought a tithe of everything they had, and it was a large amount.
And not only this is teaching us that, this is teaching us that they don't only own land and stuff. Those was businesses. They own their own
Yes.
businesses. So that's what we all need to start thinking of. How we can build our own businesses and being able to provide to those Yahuans or to those people that are in need, and we can spread the name of Yahuwah and his ways with our abundance.
This message is off the hook. Brother Daniel, get over here, because I got one more verse. I want Brother Daniel come here. Brother Daniel, hit the link. Brother Daniel Bakota, hit the link. You ready for this? Now we seal this thing. Ba-bam! Ba-bam! I got the true scriptures. I'm going to Luca, which means the light is Yahuwah. Yahuwah about to turn the light on me. I'm going to Luca. That's Luke, right? And I'm going to go to chapter 6. Luca chapter 6. Man, how we going to deal with this? Woo! Luke chapter 6.
Page 115 is chapter 6.
Look at that, 115. That makes it so good, though. You just go flip right over there real quick. 115, Lena said. All right, we're in chapter 6. And actually, we're going to page 116 because we're going to go to verse 38. Now, Lena, I want you to read Luca 6:38.
Okay, that's page 117, 38.
117.
Okay. Give, and it shall be given to you. It shall come back, and it will fall into your lap in a good measure that is pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The portion you give will determine the portion you receive in return.
That's Yahuwah Mashiach talking. That's Yahuwah Mashiach talking. That's the Most
Yes, in
High.
quotes. It's
He
actually in
said,
quotes.
give, and it shall be given to you. It shall come back. And Lena, did you notice it said it will fall into your lap? You won't even know where it came
Yes.
from. It's going to blop. It will
Like
fall
Sister
into your
Cherry,
lap.
said.
She said, I don't know where it comes from. And it's going to come down, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And the portion that you give will determine the portion you receive in return. So, based on how you receive this message and how you apply this message, what portion of this message are you going to apply? I'm telling you, as for me and my house, we come under the order of Malaki Zadok. Because we know that Yahuwah Mashiach is standing as high priest. And we know that we are under the promise of Abraham, who then had a grandson who made a vow with Yahuwah to give him a tenth. And he did that because he saw granddaddy and daddy give a tenth. And so he said, hey, whatever I get, I got to give a tenth. And then he started teaching first fruits. So if you're going to apply this message, you can expect the return. And Yahuwah said, and I am saying, as one of his emissaries, test him. Let's prove this to be true. And you've got an incredible platform and promote the truth if you want to. Lena, I wouldn't go off this if I wouldn't let the sun come up tomorrow. I wouldn't hear this message and then not go to tsinfo.org and go, look, I'm going to deal with first fruits tonight, or I'm going to deal with tithes tonight, because Yahuwah is sending this message straight through this platform. And then, we're not saying do it all, but we're saying that you can help us advance the kingdom together. Y'all see us working together in here. We have a platform for us, not ours, us, that we can expand this quickly. Now, Brother Daniel coming in here, and what you going to do with this, Brother Daniel?
Hey, Brother Daniel.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. What the jewel that I just got from you when you said, and it will come back to you. See, giving is hard enough when you know you're not going to get it back. But he said right there in there that it's going to come back to you. Either you don't believe that he's going to do that, or the scripture's not saying the truth. What it's going to show.
Well, there you go. Where'd
What
he go? Where'd he
happened,
go?
brother?
Where'd he go? Come on back, Daniel. Get back in here.
Yes, somebody Satan try to interrupt this what we're about to talk about.
Get out of here. Get behind us, Satan.
Behind, get out. Don't come back neither, because it ain't happening. It ain't working. Yeah. I want to say,
Hold on. Come back in, because that kicked you off the kilt. Come right back in. That kicked him off the kilt. So now his voice is back.
Yeah, the voice is good up.
Here you go. All right, brother Daniel, where you at?
I'm back here.
There you go.
You're good.
Yeah, I got my fire suit on right now. It's red hot.
Red hot. It's red.
It's red hot.
Red hot.
Red hot. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to chime in and say that I'm still tore up about that message yesterday, because last night some brothers and sisters, we was on a scripture reading and study, and we jumped in Romaim. And what you said this morning, I was really trying to get on this morning, because you jumped right in Romaim, Shaul. And what I learned from the Zoom yesterday about praying, when I read Romain on page 246, because we all going to be on the same page worldwide. Everything is one in Yahuah. Everywhere. We true scripture down, page 246, and it's verse 19. This is because Yahuah has made everything that needs to be known about him very plain for all humans to understand. Everything has been made known. We all knew. I knew when I rejected JC when they was evangelizing me on the street at 18. I didn't want no parts of it. I knew that it was something greater than me.
Yes.
It just wasn't that. But I knew there was something inside of me. He was fishing. He was luring me in. But when I read that last night, coupled along with my prayer about, I think Sister Lena touched on it, to be praying for the people that's out there doing unrighteous things and everything like that. We should be praying for them to repent, and that what they're going through is a part of the lifestyle that they're leaving, not knowing Yahuah, not coming to our Lord, not proclaiming the name, and not searching for him with all their heart, all their soul, right, all their spirit, all their power, and everything. You know, I could talk about this all day long, and we talking about tithing. My favorite scripture, Devarim 8:18. It is Yahuah that gives us the ability to acquire wealth. This ain't our money. This ain't our money. It's his. Because he wakes you up. One thing that we stress in the prayer thread is we're thankful. It's the best day ever when we wake us up. The day can go so wrong in the world. Everything can happen to you. But it's the best day ever. It's the best day ever. Had to blow out my tire, my truck. Best day ever. Got home, oil leak. Best day ever. Went to sleep. Best day. Thank you, Abba Yahuah. Thank you for the day. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please, if it's your will to wake me up tomorrow, it's going to be the best day ever. I love that. I love it. Best day ever. And say it with some authority. Best day ever.
Hallelujah.
Yahuah!
Hallelujah.
But I want to say something about the Kahal. Man, it's so lovely to see the growth, to see the exuberance, the excitement, the love for the true scriptures in their hand. We all on the same page. We all on the case.
So
I love y'all.
Brother Daniel, you telling me, let me put it up on the screen real quick. You telling me you went over to True Scriptures Store. Because you know they're about to reload and we sold out. And they're about to reload. How many cases did you get before they sold out.
Ocho cajas.
You got 8 of them, ladies. Ocho cajas.
Look at him. He's learning Spanish because he's coming to Colombia.
Ain't no question. You already know. Don't tell nobody.
He prepared.
Yeah.
He prepared. And the team told me they saw your email come in. They said, Brother Daniel, get down to the celebration.
Yeah. I'm trusting Yahuah. You know the situation. I couldn't get a passport. I don't know why I didn't trust Yahuah and let him. I hindered him. So he schooled me on it. He let me know. He let me know. I put my email. You got my email now, right?
Hallelujah.
I got the return confirmation. Yahuah, I don't know how I'm going to get a passport, how I'm going to get there, but I know it's up to you. I'm trying to come and serve you and worship and proclaim you and be with your people.
Are you going to test him in this? Are you going to test him in this?
Man, am I going to test him? I see how much fun y'all had down there this last time. It's the coop. Oh, man, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
You missed it.
You know, I was so happy to see y'all in one accord down there. I knew something special. Everybody I seen on the lives, on the pictures, just hearing, they all had come back changed. They went up to the mountain, and they went to the mountain Sakut and come back changed.
Yes.
They're glowing. They bolder. They stronger.
Yep.
They louder.
Loud.
Even Emily's daughter Liliana, she was Yahuah. Yahuah!
Hey, I watched her like a butterfly in the cocoon. She came down there as a caterpillar. She left flying as a butterfly. We saw it. Everybody saw it.
Oh, I just talked to her yesterday. Oh,
she sounds different, don't you?
Man, she's witnessing. She's standing up for Yahuah, witnessing. I bear witness to that.
I see what's happening. The brother Daniel, now your brother done brought a hot message. You know, you get talking about tithes and offerings and people how they trying to get money and all this kind of stuff. What'd you think about the message? Had you ever seen Malachi chapter 3, where it talks about the tithes and offerings? Had you ever seen that that's attached directly to Genesis 28:20?
Absolutely. What I like about it is you ain't playing no games.
Nope.
Yahuah, thank you. Because I know he's speaking through you. When I look at you, when I see you, I see Yahuah, I hear Yahuah.
Hallelujah.
And I know this message is true. It's meant for us. Kahal, pay attention. Pay attention, because he's not playing no games.
Nope.
Trust me, he's the best accountant in the world. He created all wealth. There ain't no getting around it. Give it up, it'll come back. He said that right in there. We just read that. It will come back to you. But if you're worried about it coming back, you worry about the wrong thing. We need to worry about getting it out, getting it into the storehouse so he can give it back to you. And then we know that James Bond stole that shaken, not stirred, right? That's the original from Yahuah. He gonna give it back to you, shaking, overrunning, not stirred.
Not stirred. It's gonna be shaking.
He's the OG of the shaking.
OG
Shaking, baking, no corn flaking.
Oh, you like that one, don't you? We ain't doing no fun faking, cornflake making in here. We having a blast with Yahuah. Listen, It's been a powerhouse day. Everybody get over to TrueScriptures.store. Get your pre-orders in. That way you secure before they sell out again. It's a good, hey, they might sell out again. Before
they probably sell out before they get to the warehouse.
I'm watching the case orders come in. Y'all better get your orders in if y'all want to get the second run, because it's going to be another 3 or 4 weeks for the next run comes in if they sell out.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So what's your parting words for the Kahal, Brother Dave?
Parting words for the Kahal is, don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without it.
Don't leave home without it.
Don't leave home without it.
I love it.
Don't leave home without it. Man, we taking it back. We taking it over. We taking it to another level. They never seen this before. One thing I learned about the True Scriptures, they don't need no kickstand.
No kickstand. No True Scriptures don't need any kick. They will stand on their own. Now you've been out there witnessing to people reading. Anybody been able to contradict anything?
Themselves. That I had somebody say, I'm not making fun of that person because it's a teachable lesson. And we were talking about that last night. Somebody said, how do you know it's the purest translation? I know the translator.
Hallelujah.
I know him. He represents Yahuah. He believes in this. And he shows us on the screen. And he got the receipts.
Yeah.
Do you know who wrote King Flames? Yeah, King James. I know King Flames, because you keep staying in that book, you're gonna be headed to the lake of fire.
Fact.
And it's hot up in there.
Fact.
Red hot.
I love you. Red hot is red, brother Daniel. You the bomb. Lena, you ain't
You're
to
the
say
best.
Hey,
We love you, Daniel. I'm so
we
proud.
got the
So
best.
proud of you.
We got the best family, loving. We all about kingdom business. Malakuta di Yahuah and Nanim up in here. We learning. We taking correction. We taking teaching. We learning. We ain't scared. We ain't in no competition. We out there loving on each other, supporting each other, and we love you, Sister Lena. We love you, Brother Jay, Elder Jay, Young Kai, PTT staff, Sister Blanca, Sister Blanca, and then the Sister Bianca that's on the chat. We gonna get you right, sister. Just hang in with us.
Hang in there.
We promoting the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth up in here.
Love you, brother
Yeah.
Daniel.
We
Hey,
love
let's
you,
pray,
brother.
Daniel. What you saying?
Yahuah!
Yahuah! Put some fire
Yahuah!
emojis in the chat. Put some fire emojis in the chat for brother Daniel. Y'all know what to
Love
do.
you,
Put some
brother.
fire emojis in the chat. He came in here and blew this thing up, Lena. What you got to say about that?
I'm so proud of him. Like just seeing his, what he's doing out there. Like he bought all these cases and he is out there, like witnessing. He's looking for people. He's hungry. He's on fire. Like what we said, you immerse yourself in water, but the most important thing is immerse yourself in that fire of Yahuwah, because you're gonna be able to go out there, not be shy, because shine is not from Yahuwah.
No.
And then you talk to people, you expose the truth, and you just bring everything to life. And that's how we forcefully push and advance the kingdom of Yahuwah.
Man, I'm
So
over
I'm
here
very
to close
proud.
this out. My wife been, hey, thank you, honey, for being in here today. I know you were very busy with our son. We thank the tutors that came in here, really was working with them hard, gave you some time. But you've done an excellent job. Everybody that was with us at Sakut, y'all saw how hard Lena worked. She never complained, because what we're doing, we're raising up new people that speak Spanish in the PTTT. All of our other people speak English, other than just a few, but they weren't here at Sakut. So we're bringing up new people. So it all fell primarily on Lena. And we were on a hill that went down to a lake. And my dad was sitting there with me, could see Lena going up and down that hill, up and down it at least 20, 30 times. And then running over here and helping people make sure they got the keys to their glamping, make sure they got all the blankets for the tents, make sure they got light, all this stuff. She was running around. She never complained. And my dad says, I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody has anything issue with my daughter-in-law, we can really fight. He's dead on. Now he's a follower of Yahuwah, dead right. We follow Yahuwah, and we don't take nothing off of nobody. We don't. This turn the other cheek is the turn to get ready to swing. That's what that is. Now, Lena, we got to figure out if we're gonna believe Yahuwah on this message or not. Everybody here, you're gonna have to make a decision. Do you believe the message? I cap it off with this. Second Quran. I'm on page 295 of the True Scriptures. I'm in the True Scriptures of Second Quran, that is Second Corinthians, chapter 9. I'm in verse 10. He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing, in order to increase the fruits of your righteousness. You understand that?
Yep.
So Yahuah gives seed to the sower. If you don't sow into his kingdom, he's not going to give you any seed other than just enough for it to get by like it does for most of the earth. But if you tap into seed to the sower, then he's going to supply and multiply your seed for sowing. Why? In order to increase the fruits of your righteousness. Verse 11, Lena. Now, what y'all going to do with this? Verse 11. You will be made rich in every way. What's every way mean?
Every way. Doesn't matter what you think. In
Does it
every
mean
way.
get by? Does it mean scrape by? Does it mean any of that nonsense?
No, it's abundance. It's in every way. You're gonna be rich in every way. You want something, you're gonna get it. You want love,
Why?
you're gonna get it. You want money, you're gonna get it. You want food, you're gonna get it. You want clothes, you're gonna get it.
Why though? You got to ask yourself, why is he saying this? He tells you the next line. So that you can be generous in every way. Such generosity produces thankfulness to Yahuah. You see, Yahuah wants to increase you so you can be more generous. And that will bring more thankfulness to him. Watch. Your rendering of this service to the set apart people of Yahuah, not only for fully meeting their needs, but it also multiplies many expressions of thankfulness to Yahuah. Man, oh man. It's y'all gotta decide. You gonna rock this message or not? I don't have to say no more else about this message. I've told you exactly how to tap into the abundance of Yahuah. You can't go side to the left or the right. You're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. The challenge is, y'all know what we're doing, promote the truth. We're asking you to support the mission. Now, get on the case, like Brother Daniel said, get over True Scriptures, not story. You see it on the screen. And especially today, when we're doing telethons, go to tsinfo.org and say, look, Yahuah, I'm going to deal with this tonight. I'm not going to bed. You can't go to bed on a great message of Yahuah and not take great action. Hardly anybody listening to me has appropriated their tithes and their offerings and their first fruits the right way. Hardly anybody. We know because we did it for years. But if you say, I'm going to get disciplined, when? What kind of faith? Now faith.
Now.
Now. Right now faith is the substance. See, if I want substance, I got to have now faith. It's the substance of things I hope for and the evidence of things I don't see. If I want the things I'm hoping for and I want to get evidence of things I don't see, I got to have some now faith. And I got to take action when? Right?
Now.
Now.
And it's
And we
a
gave y'all the
discipline.
platform. Lena, you got some parting words before we get out of here? Because we got
Yes.
tsinfo.org. Everybody got a chance to show up and show out on this message and really ramp this thing up. Like, we're doing good, but good is the enemy of great.
Yes.
Yahuah
It's
wants
a
excellence.
discipline.
Talk
Yahuah
to us.
wants Yahuah wants excellence, and he wants disciples. And in order to be a disciple of Yahuah and his through word, you have to be disciplined. So in order for you to be abundant, you have to be organized. And that comes to organize your finances. So get a piece of paper if you're good in Excel or in any application online or whatever you use to whatever you feel more comfortable to get organized. Get your finances straight. Get it organized. Know how much money comes to you, how much money you're going to set on the side, and you're going to send out as your tithing, and then how organized you're going to pay your bills. Make sure you always like just take care of your money. That's a gift that Yahuah is giving you. It's a favor he's giving you, and just don't treat it as like it's just a piece of paper. Like it's not. They have value, and Yahuah is giving you to keep spreading His word. It keeps spreading. Like you cannot say, "I'm following Yahuah, I'm poor." How is that being a witness of
Mm-mm.
Yahuwah's word when we're saying that you're going to be rich in every single way?
Every
So
way.
it's time for us as Yahuans, as followers of Yahuwah, that we get our finances straight, you get organized on, and it's not, it says that you're gonna be rich on every way. So finances and abundance is just one part of the abundance. Once you start getting your ties straight, your love abundance is gonna come more. Your friendship, your relationships abundance is going to come more. Your mental abundance is gonna come more. Your emotional abundance. So you have a place right now, right here, where you can send part of that tithing. If you don't have nowhere else around you where you want to put that money, you know you can go to tsinfo.org. You can do partial. You can. That's why it's so important that you know what you have. You need to know what you're bringing in order to get your percentages around. So you know I can help these people here, and I'm gonna make sure that when I help them, they understand this money comes from Yahuwah, from nowhere
Yep.
else. It's no, hey, here I want to help you. They can be in the worst scenarios, but you have to make sure they understand that they are in that position because they haven't received Yahuwah, and you want to bring them that salvation through that help. And then you said, I'm gonna contribute to promote the truth with tsinfo.org, because if we don't have this correct, if we don't have the true scriptures correct, nothing is gonna change in the world. We're gonna be reading lies. So right now we have to bring the Tanakh to life in order for all of us to be able to be online and be able to pass the page and tell each other where we're reading from. And everyone should be reading this, not the lies that are out there.
Right.
So that's why this telethon is so important. This campaign we're doing. Um, Thank you everyone that have supported. Make
Yes.
sure you share this, and we're gonna keep doing this. And remember, the 15 is the first cutoff if you want to be that T-shirt. Okay, you want to be the first ones recognized from this campaign. You better go there at least with the $300 pack, or with your contributions add up and at least and up to $300. So we love you. Thank you everyone for everything. I have done everything with a lot of love. I miss everyone from Sakud. I'm already working to get everything for Cartagena ready. I'm being in touch. I already have prices and everything to let you know. So we will have an email going out. Make sure you send your emails doing the reservation that you want to know. Do you want to be one of those spots or get one of those spots? It's going to be only less than 20 spots are going to be available. And send an email, and then between 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to send a form for you to fill out and sign all these things. But I do all this with a lot of love. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you go to tsinfo.org. It's very, very crucial if we want to change generations.
I love it. Everybody gonna pick up the confidence now. This was a confidence builder. When you come in correct and you get we're attached to Yaakov's vow. That's the bottom line of this message. We can't get away. If we're from the 12 tribes, we are attached to his vow. And Yahuwah says, I don't change. Therefore, you're not destroyed. He goes, but I'll let you keep living under a curse. Here's how we break the curse, Lena. We just gave y'all a curse breaking formula by showing you that Genesis that we showed you first that Abraham came into an agreement with Malachi Zadok. And Malachi Zadok back then is the same as Malachi Zadok now. He was just as Yahuwah showing up in a different form, letting you know he understands what's going on down here. He's rolling with it. And Abraham knew what was going on. That's why he said, you get 10% of everything I got. And Yiddishak, he understood it. Isaac. And Yaakov said, hold on. I'm going to build this place to have his name. He put his name's going to be on it. And we go get 10% of everything I got. And then we get reminded in Malachi Yahuah, yep, the reason things ain't going right, well, our ancestors been breaking the curse. My daddy, my mama, my granddaddy, my grandma, all them been breaking, they've been breaking the vow, so they've been under a curse. And they passed it down. I said, wait a minute. I don't want to be under this curse. I want to get, how do I break it, Yahuah? He says, get into alignment with me and you break the curse. Now my son, our son, doesn't have to go under this curse. Y'all got children y'all looking at. You can break it tonight. That's why Lena said, go get your spread. Don't go to bed tonight. Get your spreadsheet together. Look at everything. Lena, I see people doing it right now. I'm getting messages right now. I see people, and they're going first fruits, tithes, it's coming in. Look at it. Look at it. They're coming in. Bam, 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 bam. Denise Thompson. Brandon Johnson. Brandon said, I'm paying $1,038. He said, look. He said, first fruits. I love Yahuah. It's one after the next who heard this message said, I'm taking action. They can go to bed, sleep real good. They can go to bed, sleep real good. And they wake up in the morning and you start rocking with Yahuah with expectation. Hey, say, Yahuah, I got an order. If I heard this on the replay, whenever you hear this, go stop. Don't get distracted. Tell everybody I got to have a couple hours to get myself in order to see where I'm at. And then I got to get right with Yahuah. Come into alignment if I'm from these 12 tribes. Don't go to bed on this message. If you catch this, if you're watching the replay and you're at work today, you do not go to bed until you go sit down with your finances and go, I'm going to get back intact. I'm going to get back intact with the promise that Yaakov made with Yahuah. So I get these curses off of me. Now I break it for me and the generations going forward. I love y'all with all we got. We're going to keep bringing the heat. We'll be back here, right? I'm going to do a live sometime this weekend. It's going to be blazing because y'all know what it is. It's Yahuah time.